Hi, my name is Chris, and my family and myself have been coming to the Bioadvanced Medical Center for about the last 7 years. I'm from a place called Vernal, Utah, and my story actually began in a small cabin that we owned up by Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And I woke up one morning about 5 in the morning and I had a bat that had actually attached itself to my ring finger on my right hand, and it was biting me. And my former career was a biology teacher, so I was kind of used to strange creatures, so I flipped it off and caught it, and we actually sent it off to the state of Wyoming for testing. 6 days later, the news came back that the bat had rabies. At that time in our cabin, our children ages 2, 4, and 6 had been asleep on the floor around the bed where I was sleeping. So 6 days later, we had 3 police cars show up in our driveway, and they said, your family will go to the hospital and you will get the rabies vaccine. So that's what we did, and our nightmare kind of began after that. We were given a rabies vaccine as a whole family. Our children were ages 2, 6, and 8. That was called Absorbed, and it had mercury, formaldehyde, aluminum, cancer-causing agents. It was made of rhesus monkey lungs, everything to destroy an immune system. Over the next 15 years, we became allergic to everything in the environment. We went to every doctor that you could think of in the US, and no one could help us. No one knew what was wrong. By the time we heard about Dr. Calzada, my oldest daughter was in her mid-20s. She had moved home. She was sleeping on bare floors between 2 commercial-grade filters, struggling for, every breath that she took. She went into anaphylaxis probably daily. My middle daughter had migraines. She had seizures. She also was struggling. She was down to 5 foods. And then my youngest daughter at puberty had developed grand mal seizures. So she had seizure after seizure that sent us to the hospital. So our children were given about 6 months to live. And we heard from a friend in our community that we needed to come down here. And so our children were too ill to travel. And so I actually flew down here by myself. I brought hair samples. And I want to talk about what it felt like, because I was someone that had almost no hope. And as I walked through the door, it felt like this loving, healing atmosphere. I was greeted by people who didn't know me but put their arms around me. And as I conferenced with Dr. Calzada for about 4 days, and he studied our case, he studied the hair samples. When he was done, he sat me down in his office and he said, I know what to do. I can fix this. And I could feel such a spirit of love and healing, and I knew he was right. And for the next 6 months, the girls slowly got well enough to travel. 6 months later, we were able to bring our whole family down. We dragged commercial-grade filters into his office, and the staff was so wonderful to accommodate our needs because we had so many. My life and my family's life is so very different from the beginning when we first came here to 7 years later. My oldest daughter, who there was no hope for, recently became pregnant, and she and her husband are expecting their first child. We never expected for her to even be able to get married, let alone be able to have children. The other daughters have moved on, they have married. The youngest one with epilepsy is now a full-time student at a college and is going to try out for the ballroom dance team. So there is no words to describe how much our life has been given back to us, and we can live the lives that we always hoped we could live. So if you are struggling with hope, and know that it takes time to get better, know that it takes doing everything Dr. Calzada tells you to do. Trust him. If you have white coat syndrome where you worry, where you bend to doctors who have treated you badly, please allow him in, because you won't need to defend yourself here. You will be so well taken care of. I'd like to thank Dr. Calzada and the Bioadvanced Medical Center team, especially for their focus on making this a place where you feel so valued and so loved. And the only words that I can use to describe is we love you, and this feels like a family down here to us now because we've been coming so long. We talk to many, many people, and we love to tell others our story and and give others hope when they have none. Thank you so much. We love you.